Start becoming in. I want to thank everyone who was able to join us at the grand opening. It was a nice party. We had a great turnout. Over 100 people showed up. Obviously not a beer crowd because we had a lot of leftover beer. Liquor, gone.
It was beautiful in here.
Yes, I did it myself.
It really was. It was beautiful.
Before we get started, I just want to know if anybody has anything exciting to share with us. Val?
Oh.
Already.
Stay tuned, your old news.
She is my new ops manager.
Wait, no one, we can't, you gotta
Come up so everybody can see.
You gotta get to
As
the
long
center
as
of the
they-
aisle.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Do I have to?
Yes. No one on Zoom knows what you're saying. No one knows what you're talking about.
Come on, Tony.
So come on, Tony, yeah, there's a camera.
Come on, Val. Over here. My new ops manager, Tony Rosoilo. Did I pronounce that
Yes.
correctly? And she started yesterday and I'm so excited.
Excellent.
So welcome to it.
No one's ever gonna speak again at one of these meetings. Sorry.
But congratulations. So who else has anything to share, good news outside of real estate? Any babies, any grandchildren, any vacations? I went down to Texas, saw my daughter she's a senior, Texas A&M, spent a lot of money, they lost, sucked. But it was good to see them and get to see the kids. It felt good to be in Austin because we also took an extra day and spent it in Austin. So it almost felt like we were back to traveling down to family reunion and mega camp and the different trainings that they have in Austin. So hopefully that'll open up again, that we'll be able to get down and training and all such again. I went to little things a little bit different today and possibly moving forward. Instead of just having all the great affiliates that we have that are working with us, kind of blend them into the training a couple at a time. This way, it's not just affiliate. It'll be just kind of a blend into it. So you get to hear a little bit, get somebody to break up my speeching and my talking and give you something a little bit more exciting to listen to. But let's start with new listings, because boy, we need them. Anybody have a new listing that got coming up or that just hit the market that we really need to sell? Or do you have one that's lingering out there that you need to get rid of? And that's open to everybody via Zoom and everything else. Anybody have any listings? Go Val.
I've got two coming up in Willingboro. One is a rancher. The seller is making, a few things, little fix-ups, and he's also relocating. So he was waiting for his relocation from his job. And then I have another client who's relocating in Florida. They have a colonial in Willingboro. They also were doing some fix-ups, and that'll be coming soon as well. So does he have four bedroom, 2.5 bath colonial? Okay.
There you go. That's why we do this. Good job. So we know you have a buyer need. What about you, sir? How's our team doing? Do they have any needs or anything else?
We had 2 new ones last week, but now we got offers on them and doing contracts, so
Okay.
nothing new.
Anybody else have any buyer needs that are going on?
Jim, I have a listing coming up.
Eddie, anything going on?
I have a buyer looking in Evesham, Medford, 4 bedroom, minimum 2 bathrooms, basement, new kitchen, fencing.
So if anybody has any help with that.
Jim,
Before we welcome the new agents, we'll have a couple of our affiliates help. You want to start this with Rick? What you
Sure.
got going on, what the rates are and all that?
So some good news is our conforming loan limits just raised to 625,000. from 548. We're one of the only lenders that has that right now. So what that means is, you know, in Burlington County, where it used to be 600 was a jumbo, we're now conforming all the way up to 625. So if you have any buyers that are in that range, that's really, really great news, you know, for what's going on in every county. We're going to have a lunch and learn at the end of October, beginning in November. We have some great self-employed products out there. No tax returns involved, where we have that self-employed borrower who we can get a mortgage for based on, you know, bank statements. We also have an LLC project where if you have any investors who, you know, buy investment properties in LLCs, they can get it with just, if the rent covers the mortgage payment, they can get a mortgage. So we have some really unique products that we just got back from the Mortgage Bankers Convention last week, and our investors rolled these out. So I want to bring them to you guys. They're really strong, and it's going to open up the buyer's market to some of those buyers who have been sitting on the sideline for a little bit of time. So if anybody, you know, has anything along those lines before we have the lunch and learn, just reach out to me, and, you know, I'll give you kind of particulars of what's available. All right.
Thank you, sir. How about you, Tammy? You want to jump in there right
We're
now?
breaking it up a little bit.
I am. I got other affiliates too.
All right.
Darn it.
You know
And I gotta
what
come up front now. Look at the camera.
My favorite part of the day. All right, so. I love
I got it,
speaking
Sam.
in front of you. So it was brought to my attention, so I'm Tammy from Premier Home and Auto. And maybe some of you guys don't know a lot of the vendors that we, so I wrote a list.
Thank you.
It put me on the spot last meeting and I drew a blank, so. Here's some of the list of the ones that we do currently write with. So we have Nationwide, we have Hanover, Progressive, Travelers, Hippo, Lemonade, Universal, Selective, Plymouth Rock, Philadelphia Contribution Ship, Neptune, Great Bay, MetLife, which I think is turning more into another company right now, farmers related. So do have that. We have Aon Flood, Franklin Flood, Stillwater, Catco Flood, Vacant Express, if there's anybody that has vacant properties, people buying them, looking to flip the property, nobody's living in them. So short-term 3-month policies. And then Liberty, we still didn't get the login for that, but it's coming soon. And we were talking a little about FEMA. So we have been rerunning some quotes that are FHA, flood zone, FEMA. And it seems like the rates, once we've already running them again, they're dropping a little bit. So that's good news. Kind of like the more of the Burlington area, Burlington City in that area, we noticed that it's dropping. So that's a good news. And Progressive just had a huge rate increase. So if you do currently have Progressive, your renewal will probably go up. So just want to let you know, it just happened within the past week or so. So just want to let you know that. And all of our affiliates are A+ rated. And if anybody has any questions on how to use my service or on wanting to learn any more information about becoming a shareholder, please let me know. All right,
Okay.
that's it.
So for those of us who couldn't keep up with all of those,
Oh.
are you gonna?
I'll
let me know that?
I'll send it over to you.
And of course, I have Progressive, so thank you for the good news.
It's linked with the flood.
Yeah, because of the flood insurance that I'll be paying. Also, you had your first annual shareholders meeting.
It's coming up in November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's coming up. All right, awesome. So thank you. All right, let's welcome our new agents. We've had 5.
Yep, so last month we had 5 new agents. So Stephanie Florstall, Julia Martyr, Danielle Mason, Nicole DiGiacomo, and Alana Horowitz. I don't see any of them.
Well, welcome, everybody. If you get to see somebody new, please reach out to them and say, you know, welcome to the family. Cappers.
So we had quite a few cappers last month. Michael Carr, Lisa McQueen, Ashwin Rashidwar, and Mark Schoonover. So congratulations. And if you didn't already get a cap, see me, I have the cap.
Baseball cap. That's what you saw. Which is good news for them. And so that's great. And again, just a reminder, your new cap is $16,000, down from 21. So if you're an individual, 16. If you're on a team and you're at a half cap, it's actually been reduced $1,000. It's went from 10,500 to 9,500. So that's good news. Here was the exciting news. September was one of our best months ever. You want to share the numbers with them?
Yep, so we broke quite a few records in September. First would be closed volume, so we were just under 50 million for closed volume, which was a record. And then 159 units closed, which was also another record. Most importantly for you guys, closed GCI, so that's commissions paid out. We paid out another record of 1.2 million commissions paid out. And then average sales price has gone up to 332,000. Last year it was at 275,000.
So if you're always ever wondering how much we're going up, and we're going to go over a little break program that they have, that's part of your break membership, and we're going to go over that a little bit later, right after a couple of these things here. And it's like a cheat sheet on figuring out what the changes in different neighborhoods or different zip codes have been. If you're not using it, it's a great, quick, easy tool to use. And we'll go over with that shortly. Administrative updates, and that's going to blend into our education, which is also going to blend into lessons learned. So you want to start with our great, exciting news for that
Yep,
the
so.
ALC had just voted on?
Yep, so we are hoping that starting in November, the first week of November, we will be launching direct deposit for commissions. What that means is we will need updated bank account information, updated addresses, all that from you guys, even if we already have it on file. If you're gonna opt into the direct deposit program, we will need you to either reach out to Brenda or Trish only with the bank information, and please don't email it. It's like gives me cringy feelings when people email me routing numbers and account numbers. So reach out to either Trish or Brenda to update that if you would like to opt in. If you would like to opt out, you still want to continue to get physical checks, that's totally fine. You don't need to do anything if that's the case. Question?
Okay, one of our lessons learned that's going to go back to Gabby is we've had, and we've spoke about this in the past, referrals. You got to remember that you have to do a referral. And as we go into direct deposit, it becomes even more difficult because right now, if you forgot a referral and nobody's cashed a check, we can take the check back and redirect it and all that that type of thing. And then submit 2 other checks, one for the referral and one for yourself. In direct deposit, there's no calling it back. Once it gets deposited, it's deposited. So with the ALC and meeting, we're saying, okay, understand that this happens once in a while and it should only happen once, and the first time there'll be no penalty. There is a charge for all these transactions to the market center through the banks. And so we're saying the first time, okay, it's forgiven. Times after that, we've come up with a $50 penalty because it costs the office that much. So we just want you to keep track. James, if you're on the phone, you're on the line. I thought I saw you earlier. Is he there?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm just walking in.
Okay. James is going to be doing a class that you can add the referral to through command. So that way you don't have to track it, it'll track it for you and all that kind of stuff and keep that person in your database. But again, there's a cost to everything. And unfortunately, it was last week when we had the ALC meeting, there was 4 people that forgot to give a referral. So we had to recut 4 checks. So that becomes a little bit expensive at a time. All right. So that being said, education. He said James will be having a class on how to do it.
James just walked by.
Oh, he just walked by.
So before he comes in, just a heads up, if anyone missed our PA contracts class with Mike McGavis, our PA broker, Cherry Hill is offering that class as well. So if you look on our market center calendar, on your MyKW portal. I believe it is next Tuesday, but don't quote me, just go in the internet calendar and check that. But if you did miss the PA contracts class with Mike McGavis, Cherry Hill will be running that in person at their office next week.
So I guess James is here. When we talk about education there, we talked about adding the referrals to the command. That you'll be having a class on that.
Yeah, I'll have a class on,
Nope, nope.
oh, they hear me.
They don't see.
I can hear. I'll have a class on a couple of different things Brenda had asked me on as far as like doing the compliance component for your documents. I'll also have a class as far as showing how to track the referrals. Everything should be going into the opportunity as an opportunity tag. If you're also sending out the referral via the referral applet, that will also track the referral for you as well. We will be having a holiday smart plan class tomorrow at 6 p.m. We have Bright MLS coming in next week on the 19th at 11:30. And please keep your eyes out. I'm trying to hammer down the date, but I will be having a self-defense class with the Evesham Township Police. I believe that will be around 5 p.m. So whoever is interested, we'll have some mats here. Hopefully Jim will be here so we can throw him around. Oh, well, we can't because you're back. But yes, so we will be looking into having a self-defense class and just keep your eyes out. I'm also going to be throwing out a Saturday, probably a beginner's tech class from maybe 9 till maybe 11 or so for the people that can't get in regularly in the daytime, or the PM classes if you have kids and stuff. So I'm going to see about scheduling a Saturday class for those that can't make it during the week. Other than that, we've had some really great classes with the attorney law, and we have some other people coming in the future that are really going to be exciting as well too. All right.
Well, you just brought up that reminder. That was a great class on tenant and landlord. Finding out what we can do and what we can't do, and kind of scary what we thought we could do. The one thing I also want to add is, just because I know it's to a selective group, anybody who's got a Pennsylvania license, if you missed where Mike McGavis did the class here, we had a nice turnout. It was pretty impressive. And we went on for what, almost 3 hours. And everybody was taking notes. If you miss that class, or if you just want to go back and try to catch back up on what it is, they're going to have, Mike is going to be teaching that same class in Cherry Hill next week. Correct? What's that? Did you? I missed it. I'm just repeating that. Lessons learned. Mike, do you get anything that has been coming up lately?
I think everyone's been doing a great job with contracts around the. I mean, I think that, making sure that we have the compliance in place is a big key component. Obviously, the addendums, I see a lot of missed addendums, but I think that that's just, it's a select few of agents that have that redundancy, so they're getting better, really good.
I just want to be a kind of a reminder, we have what you put in text and what you put in emails can be used for you and or against you. So just be aware that we have a couple of deals going on right now where there's conflicts, and we're starting to see a lot of sellers who do not want to give their escrows back. The buyers are coming out of the deal and having right reasons, but the buyers or the sellers are fighting it. And just so you know, if you're new, we can't just decide to give the money back because we think that person's right. It's got to either be court or settled in court or settled between the two of them, buyer and the seller. We just can't turn around and say, but they should get it back. They could get it back. We're not going to make that decision. Okay.
Jim, just on that topic, because there's a lot of sellers that think that money is theirs, and they instruct our agents to put their house back on the market, BOM, and now you have a dual contract. So you have to make sure your seller's aware of that, the predicament they're putting themselves into, and the agency.
Because the buyers have an interest in the
That's
property
correct.
at the time.
It's a cloud.
Yes,
So I just have a case, I don't know if you remember, Mike, one of my houses in Palmyra a couple of years ago, we closed and the house had a lot of issues. Before closing, in my walkthrough, there were several issues, so my buyer decided to give the seller additional time to fix the issue. The seller didn't want to. So at the closing table, we agreed, my buyers agreed to give him 15 days to fix it. We did an addendum right there to say that he will fix all the issues. If not, by the 15th of the next day, month, if he didn't fix the issues, the deposit will be released to the buyer automatically. And it says right in the addendum, and it says the 4 or 5 issues that he didn't finish. 2 years later, the title company is getting sued because the seller is saying that they released the funds without their signature. So now the title company got notification from the banking people saying, you know, you got sued and you need to answer.
But the addendum signed by all parties.
Well, that's what when the title company called the banking said, well, this is contractual. I don't know why these people are contacting us. So that goes to, you know, you have to be very careful about all this issue. Now, I'm scared that I'm going to get sued, but this is between the sellers and the buyers that they agreed to that, right? I'm not getting sued, right?
Anybody can get
Anybody
sued.
gets sued. And there's some-
Learning from experience, anyone can get sued.
There's some lawyers that don't have anything to do, and New Jersey doesn't have tort reform, so we're all subject to being sued.
Because I am named by name in that suit that
Well,
says
you and I
that.
both, so we're all.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So-
I got sued by a tenant that fell down the stairs at his townhouse. Like 2 years later,
Like,
after I helped him rent the property.
What's that?
And you,
Sound took a hit.
And
Are you not hearing us?
It's like garbled.
Can you guys hear us okay?
Brenda said yes.
It's not automatic, we started talking about lawsuits at dark.
They muffled us. All
it went away.
oh my gosh.
right, before we go to the next, let's have one of our, or a couple of our affiliates jump in. Natalie, do you want to introduce yourself from Gateway? Yes, you do.
Hi, everybody. I'm Natalie Hart. I just joined with Gateway right down the street just about 2 months ago. I'm newer to the business. I was bartender for 20 years prior to getting into mortgages. I was at Envoy prior to Gateway. I'm loving what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be floating around the office a little bit here and there, just trying to meet everybody and be here for questions. I know you guys have Rick upstairs, but it's always nice to have, a couple different, people to go to for resources. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out. Okay, thanks.
Welcome. And then Dina from YH2, are you on?
Hi, everybody.
I see you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Trish. So what?
When we get it.
Yeah.
All right. Technical difficulties.
I can't see from here.
And there it is.
Oh, boy.
Funny, they were the ones that showed
You just
you.
want to try to zoom in.
No, I know how to do the video, no people.
Go to speaker. Change it to.
Okay. Tina, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Now here he is.
And you're saying, all right, let's
Some
take
place
it
back,
back.
isn't it?
All right, here we go. Dina,
All right. Hi, everybody. How are you? So all is good in the title world. Thank you so much for your continual support for YHT. We are going to try to do a few, maybe a lunch and learn or a breakfast and learn. That's kind of in the process. I know sometimes we have newer agents that have questions. Even seasoned agents sometimes have some questions on title. So we're going to try to get something together in the next month or so and try to do it in person. I will let everyone know, we'll have our marketing send out a brochure of that. So I just wanted to let everyone know, of course, you have us here, you have Rose, you have Meg, you have me. If you ever have any questions on a closing or anything like that, please reach out. Other than that, thank you for the EMD checks, their cashier's checks. We had a few personal checks. If you could please try to get your buyers to make sure that they're cashier's checks, because we're really not supposed to take the personal checks. I mean, if the closing's like 2 months out, I do it, but I don't like to do it when it's like within a week. I had to do a couple of them. The other thing is with closings, with the lenders and stuff like that, if we could try to make sure we're clear to close, because that makes it a lot easier for everyone, because then the buyer isn't totally disappointed when we have to say they're not clear to close and we have nothing. And the lender often sometimes will say like, well, we had it, we don't have it, whatever. So I just wanted to let everyone know, if we can make sure we're clear to close before we schedule. Thank you for getting cashier's checks, if we could keep that up. And that's it. And of course, we're always here for you if you have any questions. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah, we got that. Okay, Donna from America's Preferred Home Warranty, you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
We can.
All right, perfect. Sorry about that. I got 2 meetings going simultaneously. First of all, I'm with America's Preferred Home Warranty. I'm here representing your local area sales manager, Warren Wright. Today is his birthday, so he took today off. What makes America's Preferred Home Warranty different is our 3 unique differentials, which is choose your own licensed contractor for all covered repairs, List Secure, which is 2 years post-sale legal protection, up to $1,000 for your seller post-closing, and our Client Secure, which is E&O protection for you as the brokerage and the agents, that we will provide you 75% of your E&O deductible up to $3,750 should a post-sale legal dispute occur within 1 year. Now, we are doing a training next Monday where we'll go into deep details at 10 o'clock about these 3 unique differentials, but we're also going to talk about what makes the difference between a home warranty versus home insurance. So we look forward to seeing you guys all there next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question.
Yeah.
With Premier, is it possible for a seller who's not doing a closing to still obtain the policy, buy the policy? Or does it have to be with the closing? In other words, can we refer a client to you guys and you guys can write a policy, or does it have to be in conjunction with the closing?
It has to be they can, if a seller, so are they going through like an escrow transaction?
They're not going through a transaction.
Then they can go to our direct to consumers and they can get a warranty through our direct to consumers.
Okay, so it can't go through your group.
It can't go through the real estate side, no.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. We're going to try this, like I said, this cheating that have this inventory watch. Does everybody know what it is?
Industry?
For industry watch, I'm sorry. It's going to be interesting. All right, so anyway, just log into your break. So this is a great cheat. Come down to market. Then just write down the industry watch. I'm trying to do this from my back, over my shoulder. All right, you can take there, you can either come over here. This you're allowed to pull whatever quarter you want, you're comparing. But what's nice about it is you just go to New Jersey. Pick out the county that you want to work on. Say Rowan County. It gives you the county numbers, like the median sale price is now 280, it's up 18%. What's nice about it, again, it's a quick referral, but if you go down here to the second page, you can pick out your zip code and figure out where you're at. So 08053 or 55. You go look at it. So you got 08055. Average sales price, I mean, median sales price is $450,000. We're up 26%.
Wow.
Price, they're getting 98% of their asking price, or I'm sorry, 101.5 if I say online. So spec on it. So when somebody asks you how's the market in Medford, how's the market in Marlton, I mean, here's just a quick cheat sheet that you can pull up, or you should know before you go out and talk to people if you're focusing on different towns. But it gives you the whole spectrum there with an easy, quick number that makes you look like you are the person they ask. You are the specialist in it there. So again, has anybody ever used this before? You have? Who has? Okay. Anyone on our line? Andre, is this something you've used or no? You're on mute, so it was good.
It's not, but it's something I'm looking at. Looks very informative.
Yeah, it's just quick. It's just a quick note and everything else. It gets you for the county, for the towns. So you can pick out Camden County quick enough. So anyway, I just wanted to go through that. Again, you can see what's going on. And you can also, can't see it, so I got to do it from looking forward. Apologize. You can sit here again, most recent, but then you can go down in 2019, the first quarter. $200 was the median sales price. If we go down to Medford, 343.
No one up 100,000.
So again, it's just something you can share with your clients when you're going out to do, working with a buyer and or seller, they can be aware of what's going on, how the market, and if you track it, it's been going up constantly, so they can see that waiting may not be the best decision. Because then we'll find out what our interest rates are, which when I guess are going up at the same time. So, all right, just something quick and easy to do. Anybody have any questions, concerns? All right, and is Nancy on? Or Wayne? Nancy's with Green Tree Mortgage. Wayne is with Transtar Moving Systems. The last time he was here, he said, you know, also remember him that they have boxes available and everything else if you're planning on moving or you need some.
Yes. I need boxes.
Anybody else have anything, or anybody have anything they want to share as we close up? One thing I did print out, just because we're coming into the last quarter. Just the top 10 individuals and groups. What's going on through our two market centers. The top 10 are Val Nunnecamp, Devin Denofa, Andre Lapierre, Jen Holdman, Gina Ziegler, Mike Carr, James Moffa, Valerie Presley, Lisa McLean, and Tara Maloney. So Congratulations to you guys. It's nice, that the top 25 people are all cappers. So everybody's hitting 25% and it goes beyond that. So right now, your capping number, just if you're trying to figure it out, is about $1.8 million in production. With a 70-30 split. If you're curious, it used to be 1.8, just so you know what the difference is between 16 and 21,000 is it used to be at 1.8, you would cap at basically the 6%, which would be $3,000. And then from 1.8 to about 2.5, you would be at a 70-30 until you capped at 21,000. Now, right around that 1.8 million production, you're capping at both numbers. So it's simpler. All right, that's it. If nobody has anything they want to share or exciting, thank you very much for coming. We'll see you next month.